Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibrations, and I am here with your collective update for Mercury retrograde in Capricorn and Sagittarius. I almost said in Cancer, so maybe I have a couple cancers in the watching this video. Cancer, I'm hearing stellium, sun, moon, rising, so pretty cool. All right, guys, so last retrograde for the year, you guys have made it. The next big shifts that we're seeing in the next probably few weeks is Taurus, and retrograde Jupiter will be going direct on the 1st, just like this. So technically, I believe the retrograde started yesterday, and now here we are in Capricorn. You guys have been seeing this retrograde shadow period probably for like a week or so now. So keep that in mind, that you probably have seen your themes of where it is falling in your chart. So for example, mine is in the house of family, and then it will be going back into my third house of communication, so dual. So definitely take a look at that. All right, so some fun things. Sagittarius will be going into, or Mercury will be going into Sagittarius on the 23rd, so the night before Christmas Eve, or the day before Christmas Eve here in the States. We are going to see a lot of reviewing, because Mercury rules thoughts, communication, and speech. So you're going to see a lot of ways how you review your leaders, how you talk to your leaders about justice, how you speak bluntly, fluidly, and how your communication from your leaders is putting you in a right direction. And so with these energies, I'm going to go into how this is going to affect with each sign and how it combines. So first things first, let's go over Capricorn, because this is where it's starting. Capricorn is all about this, is the sign of the sea goat. It is a dual hybrid sign with the, well, in the opposition of its sign is Cancer. So I call this the parental axis. So you're also going to be seeing with this Mercury retrograde is how your dynamic, especially with your father, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, which rules the father in the zodiac chart. Maybe how you were communicating with your father, how you communicate with that masculine energy, and also how, once again, it rules spiritual ascendant masters, spiritual gurus, your teachers, where Sagittarius is more about your leaders. And I won't be touching as heavy on Sagittarius energy because I just put a new moon video out about it. So it is the one before this one, so go and take a look at it. But Capricorn energy is all about how we get things done. It is a very ambitious, action-oriented, and determined sign. If you know somebody who's Capricorn in their energy, like in their chart or in even just their energy, they are somebody who gets the job done, and they get it job done good, and they know what they're doing. It's also about money. It's about top-down government. So we're once again reviewing maybe politics, how we view politics, how we speak about politics, and seeing miscommunications and revisiting how we can fix that. And that's what Mercury does. Every time it goes retrograde, we get a revisit of how we speak, how, once again, how we see things, travel. So it's not a great time for traveling. You're going to see a lot of traffic everywhere you go. Great time to see construction on the road and getting stuck in places. So it is a great time to leave early to get to where you need to go. And it is also just good to pay attention to the flow of traffic. So main things with Mercury retrograde, as per usual, not a good time to sign contracts. Once again, not a good time to make verbal commitments. It is not a good time to, once again, start new projects, begin new projects. Just slow down and work on what is being presented to you for the next few weeks until January 1st of next year. So once again, we are going to see with Capricorn energy, how much work are we putting in? How are we mentally processing this? How do we speak when we say this? And where Sagittarius energy is a little bit more blunt. It is more honest. It is more direct, forward, and usually we get our feelings hurt when we have Sagittarius energy here. But you're reviewing the honest communication, seeking truth and honesty starting on the 23rd. And honest communication and your delivery is going to be key. And so you're probably seeing, once again, with all of these things that I have said combines, how you speak to your managers, how you speak to your politicians, how you speak to the people who are above you, being honest, open, communicative, revisiting things that need to be, conversations that need to be said and heard so you can heal, so you can take forward action. So also learning your place in, I would say, spirit saying, in other people's lives. and learning your communication style and how your delivery is, and also freedom of speech. So seeing where you can speak freely, where you can't speak freely, understanding those I'm hearing consequences for your actions kind of thing. So knowing that it always comes with being a rebel and all those things, seeing that there can be. We're also going to be seeing that we're having conversations over and over again to get clarity and honesty. And with these two combined, Spirit pretty much said, say what you mean what you say, watch your delivery, and kind of think before you speak, before you start just going off, because it could really do some damage. And so these two signs, I feel in the zodiac, they're very mature. They're not, Sagittarius is once again all about wisdom, truth, clarity, justice, where Capricorn is more taking that wisdom and that deepness from Scorpio, moving in through the sign to have it grounded into your reality and understanding within your zodiac signs here, that there is this way of life in the tangible, because your parents kind of set you up for your life, essentially. That's the first places that you learn in the sociological way of institution, how you speak. And so Sagittarius, once again, you gain your wisdom. So it's a place where we're going to see really deep things, a lot of deep change, a lot of sitting down and being more mature about where you're thinking, how you're speaking, how you're doing this. And so Hermes came in, and his advice to us was be truthful, just be truthful and speak from the heart, and take small conversations at a time. If you need to take small conversations at a time, do it. And do it at one subject at a time. Set, like, almost he's saying, set your boundaries. So if you need to have conversations with people, if it's about one thing that this person did to you specifically that you need to sit down and clarify, or talk about a different subject at a different time, do it. Like, just talk about, I don't know, I'm just giving an example, time and attendance. And then we'll say, okay, we'll do this other issue or other problem at another time. And not lumping it all into one so you have an emotional outburst with your communication. He also says review and have the conversation with yourself first to know what you're going to bring to the table. And so this is key too, because I believe that Capricorn energy is Christ consciousness, that it's about coming back to yourself, learning from your ascendant master, but also understanding that this energy is about coming back essentially to yourself and going through, for some, a spiritual awakening, especially with Saturn. It's a very mature energy. It rules Capricorn, where Jupiter rules Sagittarius. Capricorn is a feminine energy, Sagittarius is a masculine energy. So you're getting that very yin and yang symbolism through masculine and feminine energy to understand what is happening. So you're going to have a nice relaxed mindset for a little bit. It's going to be more of internally about where you are, how you speak to yourself, how you speak to your leaders, your parents, and all those things. And then it's going to be, for a little bit, blunt conversations. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how it pans out for everybody. And it's going to be different. Hermes says pretty much stick to your guns. Don't be pushy, but don't settle for less either, especially if you're reviewing conversation about things. So once again, to remind everybody, and Hermes wanted me to remind everybody again, that when retrograde stations direct, so on January 1st, Mercury is going to literally go over again that same space that it went backwards to. It doesn't literally move backwards in the sky, it just appears that way from Earth. And so it will go over it again to see if you kind of learned the lesson and revisited that, and so you can once again grow and learn Sagittarius energy. So this whole situation is going to be revisited for you to kind of step up and say something, or be honest in your communication and be more mature about it. And this is also about being your own leader again when it comes to your thoughts, and how your parental dynamic and how your upbringing and your communication, especially in that fatherly energy, is there. And so I don't want to say, so far, especially when it's in Earth, it feels very slow at first. It feels very calm. And that's why I enjoy the Earth retrogrades and Mercury, like, when it comes to that, because it's very not as chaotic. And it's not necessarily, Mercury is ruled by air, so when it's in an earth sign, it's not necessarily as destructive as it might feel with, like, fire, because it, you add air to fire and it blows up, and it works very well together. So I feel, depending where your placements are in your chart, like Capricorn, moon, sun, moon, rising, same thing with Sagittarius, sun, moon, rising, you're probably feeling this a little bit because it's like, okay, wow, like, holy crap. But also, too, the new beginning that you've just seen with the Sagittarius new moon that happened of yesterday, you're seeing, or a few days ago, that it's, how do I put this? Like, the new beginning that you're reviewing is, once again, something you're working with coinciding the same thing that's going on. So definitely check where it is in your chart. So yes, very, very key things here. So I have a few minutes left. It's going to feel, I feel like it's almost going to feel like a dud almost to an extent, and then it's going to pick up. But so Spirit's advice to us as we move through this Mercury retrograde is exchanging gifts. So once again, I highly suggest going back to my Sagittarius video to take a look at that, but it's also about the truth, giving and receiving the truth, working in duality. And for some, I feel like somebody in your energy just keeps taking and taking, and you keep giving and you keep giving, and it's just not enough. And so I feel that, though, with this, their advice is exchange, sit within the truth, speak the truth, don't be mean and nasty, but know that there's two sides. And also, if there's an opportunity that's being brought to you, I highly suggest taking it in a good way. I'm not telling you what to do about it, but if you're giving, I'm hearing for yourself, if you're being offered more money, take it, because that's like your prayers I'm hearing are being answered. So that's something. But when it comes to exchanging gifts, giving and receiving, you know, think about that, find that balance, especially when it comes to the truth. Listen to somebody else's truth. If they say that you hurt them, I don't want to be like, believe them, because it might not necessarily be true, but listen to what they have to say so that way you can get your truth out there and hopefully find a solution for it. The best practical action for us to take right now in regard to the retrograde is fork in the road. Once again, we need to pause. Some of us are going to have a lot of trouble making decisions because during Mercury retrograde, you're not meant to make decisions. It's going to be very hard to make a decision. Your brain's going to be foggy, and you're probably going in 50 million different directions. Sit back, relax, do all the things I told you not to do. Like, don't do those things like sign the contracts, XYZ. This last fell out and blessed. Some of us need to meditate more, but also I'm seeing for some you need to resonate higher on this higher spiritual level, and maybe you just started manifesting, but connecting to spirit more. I think most of us need to connect to spirit more, because I see this like with her hands when she was grounded, that we need to be like, some of you are grounded, some need to find that Virgo Piscean axis where you're more grounded in your reality, but you need to go ascend more up into the spiritual realm. Or if you're high in the spiritual realm, you need to come down to your practicality and where you're at. So be grateful, but connect more to spirit and ground down more so you can connect to spirit better and you can get the right answers. I feel that some of you are struggling with the retrograde, and I'm actually being told to put out my one of my retrograde reads. So maybe I will probably do that later, so that way it'll be there for you if you want to purchase it. I'll put it in the description box if I do. So that's something else. I've also decided, I feel like I can't see you guys on the camera. It's kind of, the light is, the sun went down. And so I'm just stepped into the Wiccan religion of celebrating Yule and all of the different ways of honoring the seasons and honoring the earth. And so it's dark now, but I want us to sit in this energy and understanding in this feminine energy that, we're meant to be in a pause, and sometimes darkness can really bring us to the light. And so Albus Dumbledore from Harry Potter, one of my favorite quotes is, I can't say it verbatim, but always remembering that in the darkest times to essentially turn on the light. We don't have to stay there, but knowing when it's time to transcend into the light is important as well. So if you're in a dark time, you're having a lot of trouble making decisions, just know, sit there and honor it. And then at the right time, you'll know when to turn into the light and transcend into the light. And it might be after January 1st, but that's okay. Okay? So I hope this resonated. Please share for those who are needing guidance of this time. And until next time, namaste.